One of my followers sent me this post through a DM on Instagram, and just reading the first couple of lines, I said, I have to talk about this. This has got to be one of the most sunken place posts I have ever read in my life. Be prepared to try to hold down whatever food you just ate as I read through this. Now, there is way more to the post that I'm about to read to you, but by the time I get through even half of it or less than half of it, you'll already get the gist of where this is going. So this is coming from a page called Her View from Home. And as you can see, you see two people, a black man and a PC woman. And this is definitely their wedding day picture. And her name is Rebecca Holden, and his name, I believe, is Ray Holden. Now, I'm going to read to you the filth that came off of this post from his side, because apparently this, what I'm reading, was from him. People of color. He's already on to the wrong foot. Let me introduce you to my white wife. Rebecca Holden. She's my best friend, my world, the greatest blessing God has ever given me. She feels your pain. She worries for her husband when he leaves the house, and she too is deeply saddened by some of our nation's most recent events, the murders of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. Please know that when you make blanket statements or generalizations about how all white people are racist, you're talking about my wife. In fact, you're talking about some of my closest friends and the best people I know. That I can't tolerate. I'm okay with people making judgments about me because of my skin color. Y'all know I'm going to dissect this, right? I'm just giving you a heads up. To be honest, I couldn't care any less what people think of me. However, when you make statements about the people I care about, it ticks me off. Then it goes on and talks about some other BS. But y'all get the gist of what this individual, this buck-broken Negro, is saying. Let's start from the beginning. When he says people of color, first off, I could have sworn you was addressing us, considering the state of affairs that we're in. He said people of color. I hate when people use that people of color term when it comes to talking about black people. I really do. That's why when I started off reading and I stopped myself and I laughed, I said he's already off to the wrong foot. Let me introduce you to my white wife. Notice that he had to emphasize that his wife is white, as if we could not see that she is. He could have just said, let me introduce you to my wife. We know that you're white because of the wedding picture. Unless y'all were taking a picture for a catalog and y'all were modeling, we know that's your wife and we know that she's white. But he had to let it be known. This is the one thing, the one gripe I have with people who are in interracial relationships. And this can go both ways, whether it's the man, the black man, or a black woman. They always have to emphasize that their partner is of another ethnicity, as if we are blind and we don't see that they're of another ethnic group. Okay, we get it. Let's continue. She's my best friend, my world, the greatest blessing God has ever given me. So I would like to know, was there any other accomplishments that happened in your life that was better than you meeting your now wife? This guy, something tells me this guy could have become a billionaire, and his greatest blessing would have been his wife, who probably didn't help him accrue that billionaire status. But let me continue. She feels your pain. She worries for her husband when he leaves the house, and she too is deeply saddened by some of our nation's most recent events, the murders of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. I'm reading this and I'm wondering, did she help him write this? Because something just tells me in the back of my mind, I want to believe that he didn't write this on his own. Something tells me that he had some help. Please know that when you make blanket statements or generalizations about how all white people are racist, you're talking about my wife. First off, I don't know who he's been talking to, but I don't know many people that would just make a blanket statement and say that all white people are racist. However, there has been many instances where white people have said that all black people are this, that all black people are that. When they bring up that black on black crime, they can't wait to go into that all black people are this, that, and the third rhetoric. Then he says, In fact, you're talking about some of my closest friends and the best people I know. That lets you know right there that he is the token Negro in every group setting that he is in. I swear, he might be the only black person in every social circle that he and his wife gather in. You know how they say, white people say, oh, I can't be racist because I have a black friend or a black spouse. That's this guy right here. Let me continue. That I can't tolerate. Now he's throwing the cape on. He's about to do the Superman pose. He's about to fly up in the air and then land and do the superhero landing. Now here's the part that really got a lot of people, not so much pissed, because I mean we already see what he was about leading up to this point, but more so like, okay, Negro, goodbye. He says, I'm okay with people making judgments about me because of my skin color. So you mean to tell me that it's okay for people to make racial statements about you because you are a black man? And I would like to see the DNA on that, because you are nothing short of an Oreo in my eyes. But you're okay with that. But if anybody makes a statement about anybody who is white because your wife is white, now it's an issue. This guy literally threw the cape on for the entire white delegation because his wife is PC. I'm starting to believe that this guy was probably in the sunken place before he even met his wife. Let's see here. To be honest, I couldn't care any less what people think of me. Okay, this guy is swan diving into the pool of self-hatred. Let me read that part again. To be honest, I couldn't care any less what people think of me. This guy thinks that low of himself and that high of his wife. He's one of them Negroes that because he married a PC woman, now he feels he has arrived. This is one of the issues that a lot of people have with people who get into interracial relationships, because they adopt the mindset like this guy right here. I wish I could tell you what I'm reading right now was not true, but this is an entire true thread that this guy typed up. And like I said, I don't want to believe that he actually wrote this, but my goodness. It goes on to say, however, when you make statements about me, about the people I care about, it ticks me off. It ticks him off. This guy literally would toss away his entire black side to uplift his entire wife's white side. You know what? I wasn't going to do it, but I want to see what the rest of this thing says. Because like I said, it cuts off at the bottom. It says, get off Facebook and know that everyone has to express themselves the same way you do. Christians, we have to do better. Every time I scroll through Facebook, you guys are the first ones to go guns a-blazing on everyone about everything. You look ridiculous talking about how the government shouldn't have said anything, shouldn't have a say in the woo-woo in quarantine, but yet here you are, the church, commenting on trusting the judicial system when a black man gets murdered. Stop it. Our responsibility is to be salt and light and share the love of Christ to others, both saved and unsaved. Instead, we've become some of the nasty people online. No wonder people don't want to know our God. We misrepresent him in the way we speak and act. He could have left that whole part out. White people, I said this once and I'll say it again, not every black person is a threat. Not every white person is a racist. In fact, not every Asian loves math, and not every Hispanic is a great soccer player. Not every Arab is a terrorist, and not every Indian is a gas station owner. These stereotypes are what destroy relationships. This is why the USA is such a mess. God has allowed a country to be so diverse, and yet we choose to discriminate and shame one another's culture. We can do better. I honestly believe we are better than this. Via Facebook, Ray Holden with Rebecca Holden. Yeah, I should have went with my first instinct and not read the rest of that filth, because I felt like I was about to get a migraine. I cannot believe what I just read. This guy, this Ray Holden, has to be the most sucking place Negro on social media right now. And this thing has, as you can see, 11,606. Well, at that time it did, but now it has 14,426 likes. And I read through some of the comments. People were going in, but then there were some people trying to say, "Oh, this is such a good thing. I'm so glad he wrote this about this and that." Of course, it was mainly palm colored people and some trolls that were saying this because they want to pretend they act like they didn't know what the hell was going on. Yeah, this Negro. Yeah, there's no anybody who can write up something like this. There's no coming back for them. Like, they're gone. They are all the way out there. They went from saying that, praising his wife. I mean, he can praise his wife all he wants to, but the way that he did it, though, it looked like it almost screamed like he had a lot of insecurities there and a lot of self-hate. Then he went into the religious part, and that's why I said Christians, and I already knew where that was headed. Then he talked about the woo-woo. Then he started talking about, he's an all lives matter Negro. That's what it is. He's an all lives matter Negro. He's your kumbaya Negro. That's him. That is him. And ironically, his wife's name is Rebecca. So he literally married a Becky. I have no other words.